Welcome back, everyone. We are showcasing another ladder game. This time we have a Gypsy game. He is playing versus a Zerg with the name of Tafyangdok. This was played on stream in what is called a PC bang, which is the term for an internet cafe in Korea. There was a very grouchy dude playing in the background that we could hear in Gypsy's headset, banging the living Jesus out of his keyboard. So somehow this gentleman had to concentrate and play his game. But he managed to do so. I did catch a glimpse of this one. This Zerg is a 1900 B rank Korean player. And Gypsy at the time had a low A rank on this account. So, reason why I'm casting this game, I don't usually do Gypsy games, but I really resonated with the adventure that he's on at the moment. So for those of you who don't know, Gypsy is a Canadian player, one of the top North American Starcraft players ever, and has very recently gone on an indefinite trip to Korea. So he is living there at the moment, staying in an Airbnb, and he is streaming his StarCraft play during the day in these internet cafes. And what I found incredible by watching his vlogs where he relays the experience is that every single day he has to re-import and recreate all the scenes and all the setup for the stream to be able to stream. And he is not just streaming on Twitch, which for those of you who don't know isn't such a grand thing to do in Korea anymore anyway. He's also streaming on YouTube. So I thought, wow, this is actually quite a brave thing that he's doing. I think it's really, really cool that he is keeping the dream alive and living his passion. And I think the way that the StarCraft community has rallied behind him and given him a lot of additional support since he's been there has been really awesome to see. And I saw this game and it was really, 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 really awesome. And so I decided I would like to share that with you today as well. So this is one of those rare occasions where I have seen the game already. It is hype, and that is all I'm going to say. And I have absolutely no doubt that I will be able to call the action because I haven't seen the replay. I've only seen it from Gypsy's point of view on stream live. And I can tell you now, there is a lot of fun to look forward to. So let's dial in here on the scouting. Usually what you're doing as a Terran scout is you're trying to confirm the lair, which we actually don't have as of yet, although he would have seen that it's coming in the natural. So we do have the lair. The next thing, of course, that you want to try and ideally confirm is that it is a spire, so that you can then just carry on with whatever build it is that you're doing as Terran. In this case, the forward racks wall, which is a very, very common open from Terrans, is the choice that Gypsy's gone with. And a very, very early sunken, which I must admit is a little bit suspicious, with very little by way of units that can pressure and with a few lings on the map. That is a bit weird. That's all that I think I'm going to say. The other thing I'll point out is that we no longer have a scouting probe. And what you and I can see, or scouting SCV should I say, what you and I can see is that there is a Hydralisk den in production and not a spire. So we are going to be having a lurker rush. And I don't think that Gypsy is expecting this. Usually what we see when our Terrans scout the lurker rush is they try and build some bunkers out forward. So we would see him float this command center, float up this barracks, build a few bunkers, get some turrets up, and basically try and block that way. For the time being, I think he is still working on the assumption that this is going to be a standard Mutalisk opening. We will know sooner rather than later anyway, because we will see turrets go up that are strategically placed to block mutas as opposed to bunkers and the adjustments that you need for lurkers. By the way, I am on an endless pursuit to improve my audio. I have made once again some contrast adjustments today, and this is my first warm-up stream for the weekend. I really, really, really hope we've hit the sweet spot. If I have or if I have not, any feedback, please let me know. Now I'm feeling like the microphone is slightly too loud and the game and the music is slightly too soft. But I think that's... I haven't listened to this one yet. This was some previous games that I've done. So let me know what you think. We're on about 650 in terms of subs. Goals to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. If you haven't subscribed to me yet, then and you are a regular viewer, then please do. I will really, really appreciate it. Okay, so we're blocking mutas, right? We're making a turret here, we're making a turret here, we're making a turret here, we're making another turret here. We are expecting mutas. If you listen very carefully, he's just scanned, he sees the Hydra Den, and now he realizes, oh dear, this ain't good. I was watching this live and you could actually see the visible panic on his face. And now the fun starts. As I always say, Lurker Spines, the place where Marines go to die. So it does have a couple of scans available and picks off one Lurker, but there are still 3 here doing a lot of damage. And that was a very, very juicy and somewhat painful spine. Repositioning his Lurkers here on the front door. By the way, we are going for faster Overlord movement behind this. Potentially as well drops. Do we have any Overlords in the vicinity? We have one here. And that is about it. So it looks just like front door pressure for the time being. Does make the bunker. I think these depots are in trouble. Obviously the racks can be floated away. And now it is just about damage control. The big downside from Zerg's perspective, this does look incredibly scary, especially when you're watching it from one person's view in the game. The econ sacrifice here is just absolutely massive, right? So while this does do a lot of damage, you can see Gypsy's continuing to make workers. He hasn't stopped with his build. I think a lot of lower level players here would simply panic. They would stop making workers. They would prioritize making units and kind of shoot themselves in the foot in many ways. Whereas here he's continuing to make his SCVs and just trying to absorb the pressure as it is unfolding. We can see some fast overlords coming. I have a feeling that this is going to be for drops, but let's wait and see. There's no other reason for these overlords to be coming this way, so let's see what happens now. Still just on 19 drones, so doesn't seem to have much of a transitional plan behind this. Where are my overlords now? Here they are. Okay. Here we go. So drops comes in, and up they come. And now you've imagined, right? You've just set yourself up here with all these bunkers to protect your front door, only for Zerg to be an absolute trash panda and drop in your main. Oh my word. When this happened, he's got 6 Marines in the tank. And no turrets. I lie, he does have turrets. More lurkers though diving in here. So many. Oh, there's just so much happening. So many spines, so much damage. The Lings are tanking here. Taking down the turrets, which is really, really annoying because detecting these lurkers now is becoming the main challenge. Could probably also target down the scanner here. He's lost 10 SCVs by last count to this attack. Is still continuing to make some Marines from here. Does get a scan in, but doesn't have siege mode. And interestingly enough, hasn't been tempted to get siege mode. So seems to just back himself to do this with Marine Medic and tanks in tank mode. But my god, these lurkers are getting so much work done. It's kind of pulling the workers from pillar to post. Diving on top of the production here really does seem to be the name of the game. I think I saw somebody when this was live, everything's on fire! Which is absolutely the case. Does have a vessel though, so this is huge, right? Because now detecting what's attacking him is not a problem at all. This vessel can fly, and that is obviously very, very helpful. He's going to lose his academy, he's going to lose his supply depot. I think the only thing he isn't losing yet is his composure. So, oh dear. More dead SCVs. So it does reposition his lurkers for the time being. This game has just been absolute chaos. Another 4 lurkers in production. Lings is actually making a spire behind this. Is he going to have the audacity to pivot into mutas on 18 drones after doing a lurker rush? I think he is, you know. So here we go, diving in again here. We've got some more overlords to drop in even more lurkers. Does lose one of the overlords. Decides to pick the lurkers up now. And what is he going to do now? Change angles? Okay, so now we got to keep an eye on the fact that it's all happening here. So I think he sent in a few lings here just to check which bunkers have got marines in and which ones don't. And he's jumped in behind here, loses the overlord, burrows the 3 lurkers there. One does go down pretty quick. Now he's got to pull workers, so he's going back to the main. There's a couple of lurkers here still in the main though, so this is just one of the scenarios when you're playing live and you got to move your workers again. So he's got to transform them here, even though lots of shit's on fire here and this is all dying. And you got to transform workers back. Oh no! Oh man! This is so difficult to do. Where do you focus? Which lurkers do you kill first? What do you do with your workers? Oh my god, the spines! It's all happening. These 2 lurkers remain though. By the way, guys, we have Mutilis in production here as well. So, oh man, I think when we were watching this, there were a number of comments on stream saying, I think I would have GG'd 5 drops ago. It's just like unrelenting pressure from this guy. He's only a 1900 B rank, but when you're watching this being done, it is freaking scary to play against. Okay, here now come the mutas. Can you imagine after having dealt with all of those lurkers, stabilized, get your bases resaturated, now they're like, hey guys, good news, I'm not doing mutas. And it seems like a full commitment to the Switch here as well. Question will be though, because Gyps is busy researching Irradiate, I don't know how effective or how well this muta attack will scale. I think our Zerg is on the clock. Like, he's got to go, man. He's got to go. Alright, he seems to agree with me. Sort of. No. Maybe waiting to strengthen the stack to 11. But here we go. So he's going to show us his muta micro as well. Overlord's going back home. And muta's joining the fray. It's got 9, 10, 11. Okay, so he's get the full stack ready. Does pick up a muta pretty quickly there. The Radiate spell has finished. The research, I mean. And now we are back with our lurkers again, just for good measure. Because that wasn't painful enough or difficult enough to play against. Does get an Irradiate off here, and he's not splitting off his mutas very quickly. I think he's going to lose way, way, way too many and very, very badly damaged and bruised the mutas. So that was a beautiful Irradiate. If you're a Gypsy fan, definitely a difference maker. Although supplies are even and there's a gap in workers, which means the army count from the Zerg is superior. But these are all very, very bruised mutas. If you can get some of his Marines on top of this, you could probably pick them off pretty quickly. See how many of these are bruised. They're all very, very low health. Oh, another exploding building. You can see how quickly those mutas died. That Irradiate really, really, really did make a huge difference. We've got 6 mutalists left here. Could have enough energy for another Radiate. I think if he does, that's going to be a game changer. Here we go. He's got a nice fresh stack of mutas. They're all nice and healthy. Picking off a couple Marines, couple more hits. Another fresh Irradiate though. That's what we were waiting for. Again, not a very good split here. Does save most of them, although they're kind of moving to the orange. I reckon he's just going to dive with all of them. Everything is still on fire here, guys. Another Irradiate. Turrets coming in. Gypsy holds on. What incredible composure under pressure. I think so many players there would have just cracked. I don't think I can actually do it justice casting it from both people's points of view. But watching this game from his point of view and the amount of reactions and sort of situations that needed to be dealt with there, that was incredible composure under pressure. He was on stream. He had 160 people watching him on Twitch and about 20 on YouTube. I don't know how many on Soup, which I think is the Korean version of Twitch, but he did have a few viewers there as well. He was not in the most comfortable environment. It was his second week in the PC Bung, and he did incredibly well. He streamed for about 7 hours on that day. I just stopped by the stream briefly and watched this game, and I was like, you know what, this is definitely worth showcasing. If you don't know who Gypsy is, or you do, and you're not following him, I reckon follow him on Twitch or on YouTube or wherever you watch your streams. Give him some support. I think what he's doing is really, really cool. I probably won't do too many more of his games, but I did just want to give this a mention because I am, for all intents and purposes, a big fan of Brood War, and anybody who's doing anything cool in the Brood War world definitely does deserve a mention. So thanks very much for tuning in today, guys. I'll be back again very soon, and until next time, you take it easy.